Our panelists for this panel discussion are Father Dr. Job Kozam Thadam, SJ, Founder, Director, Indian Institute of Science and Religion, IISR, Delhi, and Professor Emeritus, Nana Deepa, Institute of Philosophy and Religion, Pontifical Institute, Pune. Father, I would like to request you to please take your seat on the dais. Our next panelists, Professor Shamanta M. Hazarika, DST INAE Abdul Kalam Technology Innovation National Fellow, Biomimetic, Robotics and Artificial Intelligence Lab Professor, Mechanical Engineering and Meta Family, School of Data Science and Artificial Intelligence, Indian Institute of Technology, Guwahati. Welcome, sir, and I would like to request you to kindly take your seat on the dais. Along with these two eminent personalities, we also have our very own Father Dr. Joby Joseph, SDB, Vice Principal and Head of Department of Value Education, and Dr. Medari Jetham, Associate Professor, Department of Computer Science. I request all of you to kindly give a round of applause for them. Now I would like to hand over the time to Dr. Father Joby Joseph to handle the modalities.
Thank you, Ma'am Arlene Karnongrum. We are into this final session where we have two of our panelists and of course Father Augustine. Father Augustine will not be joining us for this panel discussion. We thought we will have a panel discussion as formally conducted, but talking to Father Job and Sir Hazarika, we thought maybe we'll open this session for any question that is related to, let's say, the wide area that we listen to, and maybe even to area that we listen to from Father Augustine, philosophical, theological, anything that is related, and whoever is able to handle the question, they will take it, and if it is beyond, I'm sure we can still refer to maybe our own higher intelligence and get the answers. So we now open. I think I will ask Father Job maybe to give a little more details how it could be today.
Okay. Thank you very much, Father Joby. Yes, we had three very important sessions. In fact, I would say four, because Father Jose also did give some input. Father Jose, you remember, the rector of this college. And so in light of these inputs, you may have some questions in your mind. You may also have questions before you listen to any one of them. When you decided to come for this conference, you must have had certain, questions in your mind. Or there may be some questions which you ask in your life, related to science, religion, the broad area of science and broad area of religion or values. You may have some such questions. So you can present before us those questions. Please don't think, oh, my question is such a simple question, nobody else will be interested. There are no simple questions like that in a session like this. Every question is valuable. And also remember, you ask a question doesn't mean that you are the only one who may want to get an answer. There will be others also like you. Some may be hesitant, some may not know how to articulate it and so on. So please feel free. And this kind of occasion, now you see four people, and we will also ask some of the participants sometimes for some questions to answer or to join in. And so this kind of opportunities come very rarely, very, very rarely, And so whatever questions you may want to ask, you ask. And then if we can answer, we will answer. Or it is possible that some questions we cannot answer because of lack of sufficient information and so on. Then some of us will look it up, because we will give our address and email and WhatsApp and so on. So you can always contact us. I usually get this kind of questions from people. And so please don't hesitate. This is a rare opportunity, I would say, to get a professor of this eminence, from Guwahati and all these things. You don't get this kind of opportunities easily. And also we are putting a mood now, an atmosphere where some of these questions can naturally spring up. And so please make good use of this opportunity. Thank you.
The floor is open now for questions.
And you may ask, if you don't want to use English, you can ask in Hindi. I can answer in Hindi. Other languages, Malayalam also I can answer, but that may not be very helpful.
We can manage Kasi and Assamese too.
Good afternoon, everyone. So my question is, in your presentation earlier, we saw that there was a robot that acted as a bodyguard, and you said they had weapons. So what is your stance on such robots or artificial intelligence and their capabilities on maybe hurting humans or being used for war? That's the question.
It's to you, I suppose, no?
No, it's for you.
No, Father, I think it is for you.
Bodyguard.
The bodyguard.
Oh, okay.
Bodyguard robot and hunting
Yes, I'm sorry.
humans.
Yes. And the bodyguard of Bahrain. Yes, you see, once again, that is proving that science and our everyday life can collaborate with each other. In other words, a bodyguard of that person, supposing you were to put humans in the place of that machine, they would have required a whole contingent of people. And so you can reduce the number of people involved. And so you see, that's a situation where a machine, a very good intelligent machine, can be of protection to humans. And maybe some of these ladies who are, suppose very, very super rich and talented and so on, they may need some bodyguard. And, sometimes putting men may not be the right thing. And you can get one of those things, go with you. And if you have got enough money, and so it can be used, it can be useful for other people as well. So it is one example, illustration of how current AI technology can help us humans live a better, more comfortable life.
We have a question from this side, yeah. You can keep that mic on always, that's better. Yeah.
Good evening, sir. Sir, my question is, what is the role of AI, or how AI affects on areas like cloud computing?
Real life?
How AI affects on areas such as cloud computing?
I think Professor Sarika can take that.
So, this is an interesting question, how AI impacts cloud computing and stuff. So people who are not aware of what cloud computing is, so let me put it simply for them, what is cloud computing, and then I'll answer this question. So your mobile phone has computational power, some amount of computational power. If you want to solve a small problem, you can solve it. But let's say the problem is very complex. The mobile is not competent enough to solve that problem. So what you can do is you can communicate with the nearest computational resource that you have and send the program there, the solution will be sent back to you and you can get your solution. So when you have your computational resources not sitting on the earth as servers, but serving you without any geographical boundaries from anywhere, people tend to call it cloud. It's not that clouds have some computer standing there, but beyond geographical borders, if you have computational power accessible to you, we call it cloud computing. Now, as I was telling you in my talk, when you are talking of artificial intelligence for humanitarian usage and humanitarian technology, one important aspect of it is how do you distribute the load? So you have 10 problems to solve. Do you want only the state of Meghalaya to solve all these 10 problems, or Shillong city to solve all these 10 problems? Or you would love these problems to be passed over to a global community so that solutions may come from anywhere. Okay, so distribution of load is a very important concept, and AI plays a major role in really distributing services across different servers without any geographical boundary. So it has a huge role to play in cloud computing. So it's not only about reaching to the resource, it's also about how good these resources are utilized across borders, if you want. And one pretty good example where such things have been done is recently when we had to do seeding for our rainfall. Okay, seeding for rainfall is across borders. You cannot say you will only have rainfall in Uttar Pradesh and not have it in Delhi. So the best way to think of where the seeding would be done would be through resource distribution across different borders. So that is what AI is working on, distribution of load across servers. So if you are aware of, because you have asked the question, I'll give you some homework. So that's not to discourage anybody to not ask question, but just additional. If you really want to use such powerful resources sitting at your home today, so you can take for very minimal fee, very interesting servers made available via Amazon Web Services. You can subscribe to it for 1,000 rupees. Use your machine learning program in Amazon servers in America, sitting from Meghalaya. Okay? And get your answers here. Your college need not have a very sophisticated lab. That's the power of AI, and that's the power of cloud. Okay?
We have one more.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir. As you said, I have a question about what if quantum computers and artificial intelligence join forces? What do you think about it?
You said something
Quantum and artificial intelligence.
Oh, I see. Are you asking about the basic principles of quantum computing? All right, okay. It's a little bit technical, but as a professor has done, Professor Shyamanda has done, I'll try to make it simple as possible. You see, quantum mechanics is, if you want, a revolutionary movement away from classical mechanics. You are studying your mostly in your BSc level classical mechanics of Newton and other people, and it has got tremendous advantages, no doubt. But when complicated issues come, classical mechanics falls short. It becomes and quantum mechanics becomes more powerful. Now, in quantum mechanics, what happens is what they call it, as I mentioned to you about uncertainty principle. And so there what happens is there is superposition. Superposition means for a particular question, there may be 25 answers. and they are superposed onto each other. One over the other, one over the other. And all of them can be activated. None of them is a preferential one until you make your choice. Once you make your choice, make an observation, okay, I am choosing this one, then the uncertainty is gone. It has become certainty. Okay, so you see at a given time, let's say 10 possibilities are open to you, you see. And so it is like 10 parallel computers working at the same time, as it were. And so when the quantum computing comes up, our ability to compute, the ability to do it faster multiplies, exponentially if you want to, you see. And so then the capacity or capability of a computer simply magnifies, multiplies. And this is the advantage of this one. And they are trying, I'm quite confident that they will succeed. Yeah, the Japanese and various other people are trying it. And when that comes, it could be a game changer. It could be a real game changer in the world of computing and world of artificial intelligence also. That's what I had in mind. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Father, I have a question. There's a little, since you spoke so much about evolution, and also Father Augustine spoke about, we speak about evolution to a higher level of intelligence, right? And connecting to Sir Hazarika's talk and all three of you, and we are seeing a day when, let's say, either human intelligence meets the super intelligence that technology may be able to give, or one proceeds or one goes higher. Now, when you speak about evolution, we see progress in intelligence, in technology. These two are always evolving. But look, as humans, in the social spectrum of social life, ethical life, or in physicality, the evolution is not as visible as in these other two, intelligence and technology. So, how do you make a conclusion about this journey of evolution, that it is still an ongoing process, or is it only in these areas, or the other spectrum or other areas of humanity or the world is left out in evolution?
Yeah. You want to say something? What about you?
No, please.
All right. Yes, let me begin. You see, as Father Augustine made reference to Teilhard de Chardin. Teilhard de Chardin was a Jesuit paleontologist, scientist, thinker, philosopher, theologian, all in one, as it were, And brilliant man, and great person. He died in 1955, and he was born in 1891. All right. Now, he has been saying that evolution passes through 4 stages, four different well, let's call it stages. Okay. The first one is the stage of material things. The material things. Okay. Lithosphere. He calls it lithosphere. Technical term, lithosphere. Okay. That means the sphere of material things. Okay. Second one is biosphere, the sphere of living beings. The third one is noosphere, the sphere of thinking. And the last one, he calls it the omega sphere. Okay, omega sphere, that is the final stage. The omega point is the final destination of the evolutionary point. Okay, now Father Dr. Joby is asking about, going to the final stage, one question you mentioned in the beginning. Okay, and obviously in a sphere like that, it is not just a question of pure science and pure religion going, there will be other aspects as well. For instance, the social aspect. Now, according to Teilhard, he does not make a sharp distinction between social, religious, scientific, and so on. For him, he has a holistic point of view, an optimistic, holistic view, a unitary point of view. And according to him, as science develops, and other things develop. This society, social, at the social level also development takes place. After all, we humans constitute the society. Suppose there are no humans, there is no society, you see. And we are also, as we all very well know, that we are product of our social upbringing. We are product of various things, religious upbringing, social upbringing, educational upbringing, scientific upbringing, and everything, you see. And strictly speaking, all these spheres are making progress. Now, as you say, in some places it is more visible. For instance, for the last 100 years or so, scientific progress is very visible because there's a lot of publicity there, and it makes a big difference. And then it's a quick process. Like when ChatGPT came, November 2022, and then Bing came, and then ChatGPT has improved tremendously now. Because I was using it at that time. Now recently I used it. Big difference. They have improved tremendously. ChatGPT 4, for instance. Okay, and so their science is very visible, but where social changes are not so visible. But you see, for instance, just let me give us one example. How this has, scientific development has affected our social life. Think about internet. You see, now I don't subscribe to anything. Dr. Shamanda mentioned, you for 1,000 rupees you can get a better server and better accessibility and so on. All right, I don't do have that at all, but still I can get the information from everywhere for paying nothing. That is a social contribution of science. You see, now we are feeling as though we are one society. It doesn't matter where we are located. Location has become a non-factor in today's world, thanks to internet and AI developments, you see. And that is where the social thing is coming. And many people, the fellow who started Wikipedia, I make a small contribution to that. Wikipedia I use very often. Now he's not asking for any fee. He sort of comes after you and pesters you to get the money, all right, but again it's voluntary. You can tell him straight away, don't give. But so there are human beings that come up with this kind of great ideas, sharing, free sharing, selfless sharing. So that is something which has come up very much. And now, with this thing, again think about helping the poor. You go to the newspaper, you go to the TV, this person is suffering from a rare sickness like this, and the parents don't have the money. Would you please chip in a few rupees or something? And many are contributing. So these are also taking place, thanks to all this development. All these things go together, not just piece by piece. If people want to ask something about religion, whichever religion it is, doesn't matter. We will not be talking about any denomination religion here. We will be talking about religion in general. Supposing you have some questions about that, which may not have directly entered into our conversation or presentation today, you can ask. As I say, this kind of opportunities don't come your way too easily. So it's up to you. So please don't hesitate to ask.
सर गुड आफ्टरनून सर हिंदी में पूछ लूँ सर हिंदी में ओके सर उस दिन मैंने एक क्वेश्चन भी पूछा था टीचर लोग को पर किसी ने जवाब दे नहीं पाया तो अगर मैं एक एथिस्ट है मैं गॉड में बिलीव नहीं करता पर मैं एक अच्छा इंसान हूँ मैं अपने लाइफ पर मैं अच्छा करते आया हूँ तो क्या मैं तभी भी हेवन जाऊँगा
कभी भी
लास्ट पार्ट नॉट क्लियर कभी भी
like sir told us right we can ask
तभी भी कहाँ जाऊँगा
heaven नहीं सर ने पूछा रिलीजन के बारे में पूछ सकते हैं ना
no problem. See, Father are qualified to answer such questions, but look at my audacity. I will try to answer. Okay. So first तुम रिलीजन में बिलीव ही नहीं करता तुम्हारे लिए हेवन और हेल कहाँ से आ गया
नहीं अभी
first you have to believe in a supreme power to believe these kind of thoughts processes that we have built for ourselves If you have no belief in your supreme power, then for you hell and heaven doesn't exist.
But elderlies have been saying us
So
that
let me finish. So your worries that whether you'll go to hell or you'll go to heaven proves to us that at the back of your mind you have a faith in God, and your heroism or machoism is forcing you to have a pretense that no God exists. That's what I have a feeling. And that's my response. I will leave it to fathers to respond to that question.
Father Joby, you want to say something?
I will not counter you, but I mean, sir answered it much better than us. I just wanted to, in fact, I wanted to put this question to Father. In fact, yesterday, 2-3 days we've been sitting and talking with Father Job, because he's more working actually on religion science. And Father was saying, when you meet an atheist, and when you want to put your proofs, suppose now, Sahil, let us take an argument between us. Since I am here, suppose I say I am a theist, believe in God, these are my arguments, and you put your arguments, and I mean, talking to Father was saying very clearly, Father will answer you, if you want to call it a very common, crude language, defeating an atheist in their arguments is much easier than defeating an theist, because the atheist arguments per se, not beliefs, arguments per se do not really stand, because you can always counter very straight their argument's sake. Faith do not come in here, but logical arguments. So I will ask Father to answer the rest.
Yeah. I will not go, take these two tags which you took up are self-explanatory. I will not go more into that. You see, when we say believe in God, please sit down. And when you say believe in God, the whole question is coming, who is God, what is God? You see, God does not have, strictly speaking, God does not have a visible face as such. You see, the visible face God has is given by us being humans because of our limited capacity to understand, to grasp things. You see, for me to understand that you are sitting there, if you are a physics man, you will know, the light rays from these tubes and so on will fall on you and get reflected and diffused and enter into my retina. Then only I can see you. And that is, and all the five senses, we have only 5 senses to get in touch with the outside reality. And we are limited by that. And we know that the sense of sight cannot go very far. I cannot see anything on the other side of the wall, but the wall stops it. Sense of sound I can hear, something over there. Sense of smell, also very difficult if it's close like that. And sense of touch, unless I go and really touch the person, I will not be able to. You see, so we have got limitation because we are beings made up of flesh and blood. So we have got limitations. And we are trying to say that if, in spite of my limitation, if something really exists, it should be visible to me here and now. This is what basically an atheist is saying. That's why I was telling, as a father, it's much easier to defeat an atheist than a theist when it comes to real arguments. You see? Because atheists, all the atheists I know, are limited by these 5 senses. Seeing is being. If I can see or touch or hear, then that exists. Otherwise, it doesn't exist. There are, if you know astronomy, according to the estimate of scientists, there are 1 followed by 22 zeros. That many stars are there in our universe. 1 followed by 22 zeros. Trillion, like that you go. Okay? And how many of them do we know? We know a few. Strictly speaking, we know only one, the sun. The others are galaxies and so on. You see? But they are existing. Just because I cannot have contact with them, I cannot say they don't exist. When Plato and Aristotle and so on were, they thought that these stars don't exist. Stars, according to Plato, the galaxies, stars, according to Plato, were decorations put up, not Plato, Aristotle, decorations put up by the Creator on the roof of the universe. The universe has got a roof, and the Creator had some aesthetic sense. So the Creator puts few decorations like, for Diwali and all those covered decorations you put up here and there, no? So that was their idea. So they did not know anything about the star. So these stars did not exist for them. You see, why? Because they were limited by their five senses. You see, and so now that is one thing. Now God is a being whom we cannot sense, strictly speaking. You know, we can get certain experiences of God, but that is again a personal thing. I cannot tell I am getting God's experience, so you also should get it. That doesn't go like that. You see, so it is not a intersubjective experience, a personal experience, personalized experience. So who God is, what God is, very difficult for us to define. You know, but there is a very good reason for us to think that some being like God must be existing. Now this morning, it will be connected with our lecture, Augustine's lecture. Augustine talked about Anthony Flew. Anthony Flew was the godfather of atheists. If, say, 20 years ago, if you want to know a good atheist, a really convinced and convincing atheist, what you have to do, go and read Anthony Flew. Anthony Flew was the man to go to when you are talking about atheism. But he had a principle. And this principle, I will say, was the inspiration of God. That I will go wherever reason leads me. I go by my reason. Wherever my reason leads me, not wherever my eyes lead me. Wherever reason leads me, reason and logic leads me, I will go. I don't care where I end up, but I will go. That was his fundamental principle. Usually all good atheists have got a real principle. They are principled people. They are good people. I have interacted with many of them. They are good people. Please don't think that because they are atheists, they are bad people, immoral people. Not at all. Not at all. In fact, many of them are much better than believing people. Okay. All right. And so he had this one. And so, he began studying other scientists. There is one Alan Sondheim. He was an atheist in his 30s. When he was 25, 26, 27, he was an atheist. And he died, I think, recently. When he died, after a number of years, he was an astronomer, British astronomer, famous astronomer. And he did astronomy. Then he found out, my goodness, I told you, 1 followed by 22 zeros of stars. Then, black holes, about 10% of that, 10%, black holes are there, the same number, black holes are there. All these things are, they are all moving around and they are not dashing against each other, they are not destroying the universe. Everything is so nicely balanced. Everything is so nicely arranged so that all these things can move around, the solar system, how many planets are there, then satellites are there, asteroids are there, all these things are moving around without disturbing anybody. So how can this happen? Oh, it must be chance. The stock answer of atheists is chance. Well, chance, we have got ways of calculating chance. The possibility of this particular chance, sir will know this thing, possibility of this chance occurring, how often will it occur? We can calculate and find out. When you calculate and find out, you see that this kind of balancing to take place, the universe must be existing, I don't know, 200 billion years ago or 500 billion years ago or something like that. But today science is telling us our universe is only 13.82 billion years. The best information we have about our universe, the origin of our universe, the Big Bang, is 13.82 billion years. So if you go by chance, there is no chance at all for this universe to exist here. So reason is telling me, if you go by reason, then the better chance will be attribute this thing to some power in whom this thing is concentrated. Whether he is a person, whether he is an idea. Einstein thought it was a super idea, super intelligence. For Einstein's God was super intelligent God. Super intelligence was his God. And different people got different things. You see? And so we are not saying that you should believe in Jesus Christ or Ram or Krishna or Buddha or Allah or anything. We are not saying that. These are, specific religions have got their own reasons for that. So we respect that for that. But some being is there. Einstein says it's super intelligence, before whom I bend my knees. I bow my head and bend my knees, he said. In his own quotations you have got there, you see. And so, you see, that's the type of situation. And so, God is some being who cannot be defined satisfactorily. Some definition you can give, but satisfactorily you cannot define. So it is possible that you may be a crypto believer in God. Also, crypto means secret believer in God. Without your knowing, you are believing in something which is great. You see? So crypto, you could be a crypto believer. Okay, then that is it. That's enough. And if you lived a morally good life, and all religions are telling us, do good, avoid evil. This is what all the religions are telling you. So if you have lived a life where you avoided evil and did good, surely you will go to heaven. So don't worry that whether you will go to heaven or not. Do good and avoid evil, you will go to heaven.
Sir, I think I would prefer to be on the other side asking questions rather than be among very distinguished, persons. So I'll take the position of the other side, and I would like to ask this question, since you're saying that do good, and that is the common ground among all religions. But what I see, especially with AI, is if you see at any tech giants, there are no clear guidelines or rules where they actually follow what we say responsible AI. So what do you have, especially for young minds who are actually going to go into that field? So what do you have to say to them, especially in this field where it's very blurry?
Okay, so first I'll do. Okay. So this is a very important question. AI doesn't have any guidelines as of yet, but across nations, across different societies, different standards are being built. So we have IEEE AI group, robotics AI group, where we are coming up with a set of standards of what could be done and what could not be done with that technology. Not that everybody will follow those standards, but at least there will be some guidelines on not to do certain things. Okay? But I believe what would be more important for each one of us, if we really want to work in AI, is to really have at the back of our minds that these technologies are to be used for bringing the human race together. So I see this as humanitarian technologies rather than just intelligent technologies is to upsurge some power or upsurge some other group somewhere. So I see these as humanitarian technologies, and inclusivity, sustainability, and humanitarian and ethos should bring these guidelines to us. As professionals working in AI, you should be guided by them rather than the sole motive of making profit or making divisions within the society. That's what my take on AI is. Thank you.
Others may have questions otherwise, because more or less what Professor has already answered in the basic thing.
Yes, you have a question?
There are two questions here in front. Okay.
Can AI contribute to the exploration of questions related to the existence of any supernatural being or creator, or the nature of the universe?
For the
nature of the universe.
Nature of
Can AI really work towards deciding or giving us a substantive answer if there is a creator of the nature or if God exists?
Yeah. You see, as I was pointing out to you, that science is a project in process. Remember, science is a process in project. I mean, a project in process. Science is going on, developing. You see, and as science is developing, certain issues come up, and when we try to answer some of these issues, we find a roadblock. We are in a dead end, as it were. Given the data we have, given the presuppositions we have taken, and given the theories we know, there's no way forward. You have come up with a blank wall, as it were. You see, And then at the same time, we know that the question I am asking is a reasonable question, it's a meaningful question, and then usually that will be taken as an indicator that, Einstein used to believe that for every intelligent question, nature has an answer. Then this is what led him to go to relativity. Because relativity was a revolutionary theory. It made no sense at all, in his time, and he was never given a Nobel Prize for relativity. Sir and others will know that relativity is a fantastic theory like this, never got a Nobel Prize. Anyway, let's not go into other details. And so you see, if an intelligent question has been asked, there must be an answer. And so that means somehow that the boundary which we see has come not because there is another answer, but you have been pursuing the wrong path or an inadequate path. So you have to open up a new path. This is what Einstein did when he went into relativity. And relativity is a very revolutionary theory. Quantum theory is even more revolutionary, because they all came to a dead end. And they said, if you want to make any progress, you have to change your presuppositions. Max Planck in 1900, when he started quantum theory, this is what he experienced. He had to go away. Give up this old way of proceeding. Then he took a new one, an uncharted path, that worked. Quantum theory was born. Einstein, 1905, same thing happened. You see? So this kind of, if it's a good question and well-intended question and intelligently formulated question, it will have an answer. And you have to be willing and open enough to explore new paths, new pathways. Then you will get it. This is how science has been going. Now AI is giving us a better opportunity to explore new paths. I told you, so for instance, space exploration. Some of the things we cannot do. We humans are made of flesh and blood, so we have got limitations. But AI powered machines, they don't have that kind of problem. They are almost weatherproof, and they are protected from various things. We can send them there, and if they got very intelligent, very very close to us, they will do as good a job as I or you would do if you were to go there. So that is why. So this will give you, this will help you to answer more and more questions. But still, according to many thinkers, you will again come to a dead end, where you will say, I have asked a good question, but I am not getting an answer. Maybe you will have to jump over there also. At the end, according to A.R.T. Sheldon, there will be omega point, you will come, and then you will not ask any more questions. He says that way. That is his view. Others may not want to. All the religions will say there is a point. That point is where we consider, God, like in Hindu, our Mahavakya, Aham Brahmasmi. You must have heard of it. Aham Brahmasmi. Thou art God. I am God. That kind of enlightenment, when you get, you have reached, you have become one with the Almighty, and that is the final point according to Hindu traditions. And different religions have got different traditions. That's all I can say. Others have got anything more to say.
Sir, as we know that AI just come recently, right? And then, but some people have asked AI to draw the face of some ancient people. They draw much better than the architecture, right? How is this possible, sir? Is this just an external image given to them by the programmers? Because since sir have told us that they can do only things which have been taught to them. How is this possible, sir?
Can you repeat the first part? What there's what?
Pardon,
Can you repeat the first question, please? We did not get it.
Sir, how do the AI can draw the face of an ancient people more accurate than the architecture?
Okay. Oh, this AI creation. Okay.
Is this an external image given by the programmers to the AI, or they are generating by themselves?
Okay, they are generating. Okay, I'll answer that question. So you are from BCA? BSc Computer Science. So you know a little bit mathematics, right? So you have done mathematics. You have been taught integration. So how many problems were taught in the classroom? So how many? 10? 20? And you solved a completely different problem in the exam? How could you do that? How could you do that? By logic, or by first breaking the problem that was taught to you to fundamental units. You must have broken the problem taught to you to fundamental units. These fundamental units we call primitives. So I break a given problem to primitives. Given these primitives, I can build any other problem that I want. Like, let me take an example. If I give you only 4 shapes, a straight line, a cusp, and a semicircle, you can draw a vase, or you can draw a picture, big one, matka. You can draw a beautiful bird, but the primitives are only 3. 1 triangle, 1 straight line, and a semicircle. So that is how a given complex problem needs to be broken down into first very simple primitives, and then the primitives can grow to give me a new completely thing. And that is what is done in AI recreation of images. AI recreation of images. You'd be surprised to know that this idea of AI recreation of images is actually copied from our visual cortex of the brain. From our childhood, we have been taught to look at images, think of how they are similar or dissimilar, break it up into small pieces, recreate them. Most of the stuff in digital recreation using neural networks is copying our visual cortex. By breaking the main problem into small and then taking the smallest fundamental units to create a new one. Okay, that is how it does better. Why it does better? Because given these 3 pieces that I told you, you can only think of bird, vase, and what else? Go back and think. Something else. Fish. Maybe the fish also. Semicircle, a triangle at 2 ends, and a fish. I can't think of anything more now. But given a program, it can think thousands. It can try iterations and think thousands and create many. Okay? So that is how they win and we lose in that game. Because that is repetitive game. Given a mundane game to the machine, it will fail. Like you show it a fish and ask it to recognize the same fish in Bara Bazaar, it will fail. It will not know it is the same fish. But you may know, because you must have seen it in your home and then you've seen it there, you may recognize it to be the same fish. So we are very good in mundane tasks. They will fail, but they are very good in repetitive, so they can recreate. I hope your question is answered. Yeah, okay, thank you. Very good.
Hello, sir. My question is, how will AI impact or enable social manipulation?
Social?
Manipulation.
Social manipulation.
This is
you want to say something? No? Yeah, I think you only a few examples. For instance, more pictures or something you call it, no? Yeah, more pictures. You see, now as Professor was telling, Professor Shamanta was telling, you see, AI can break this thing into its primitives, that means its constituent elements. Constituent elements, that's what we mean by primitives, and then restructure that thing. Now you see AI, for instance, in Neo. Neo is like this ChatGPT and all those things. Neo is something like Ameka. Now that one is being taught to draw pictures, and creative pictures not pictures which you have seen, but new pictures is being drawn. Now you see, for instance, now yesterday's paper was telling, that Rahul Gandhi has been depicted as Ravan. And they can, get a picture of Ravan and then put Rahul Gandhi's head there or something like that, and then, going around. You see, so that will, and that can create Ravan is a person whom everybody hates in the northern part of India, especially. Okay, southern part of India, Ravan is worshipped, like Sri Lanka and so on. He is worshipped, he is the real God. So these things depend on your culture. That doesn't depend on other things. But whatever it is, so you can make that kind of thing. And now you see, you don't have to go after an artist will have to give something. But you give her the data, and then the ChatGPT or that kind of thing will run the thing, and it can disrupt your social life or social structures. Various ways it can do. Wrong and by misinformation. By misinformation, supported by pictures and other visuals, can really play havoc in our society, thanks to AI. I'm giving an example, but the answer is, both these statements.
May I add to this? I think with the upcoming elections, we might see this, because I think you've heard of deep fakes, right? So where we actually might be looking at visuals which did not happen, but might be classified, might look real. That has happened in the US elections, which I have followed, and then I saw that happened with just recently in the Ukraine war, where Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, was giving orders to his troop to actually retreat, to actually surrender, but that was actually a deep fake video. So things like these will be there. That is why I asked Sir earlier, what is our duty or our responsibilities in actually creating responsible AI? So even elections are around the corner, we have to be on guard that these things might just be around the corner.
Yes, deep fakes is a very nice example of social manipulation in AI. And the only thing that you could do as responsible citizens is to be aware of certain things and not be a WhatsApp university taught person where you forward every other message. And be conscious. Now that you know AI could be dangerous as well, my request to you would be, let's not shut off AI and progress in AI. So that's why I don't like people like Elon Musk or even other entrepreneurs who are saying, let us stop progress of AI for 2 years. I don't think that's the solution. The solution is, let us be responsible enough to take this science forward and be conscious of what it can do and not do, and be conscious citizens. So if each of us spread the word that there is something called deep fakes, there is something called AI manipulation that's possible, well, that would be a good starting point for retaining the hope these technologies hold. Because these technologies, the hope these technologies hold outweighs the disadvantages, outweighs completely. It can change lives. At least for artificial intelligence in healthcare, it can change the face of the earth. AI technologies are available where they can look at rarest of the rare symptoms of a disease and capture that disease almost 10 years before symptoms show up for a physician to really be sure of the disease. Okay, so these type of things are there in AI, which we should focus on rather than social manipulation using AI techniques. Okay.
I just have one question to the panelists. We know that AI is a powerful tool, right? So a programmer, say, has designed a robot, like you say, sir, who can paint or who can write, creative poems which are original, or some stitches or dresses and all which are original. So who do we give credit? To the programmer or to the AI tool machine? Thank you, sir.
some legal people can say that.
Yeah, so this is what ma'am was referring to. So there is a lot of discussion going on this, intellectual property rights because of AI creations. And even Government of India now has a national mission on AI established, which is looking into it in the Indian context. In the industry context, there is an IEEE standardization and society, which is looking into these type of things. But as Sir was telling a little while ago, we are just taking the footsteps in these new areas of AI. So this is too fluidic now. There is no defined legal rules as of now, but they are evolving. And sooner they evolve and take shape, the better for all of us. But till that time, the only way we can be safe is to be aware of certain things like this. And that's why I think this seminar today would go a long way for you to not only be aware of, but also spread the awareness. Go back to your colleges, go back to your schools, and then to your families and spread the awareness.
Yeah. Like Medari said, I also want to ask a question. This is on behalf of many of them are computer science students, MCA, BSc. This is specifically to Dr. Hazarika. What could be some of the areas or projects that students at graduation or master's levels could look at this, let's say, the field of AI coming into, and areas where they can work projects on their own, or the other way, also Father Job can come in. What could be some of the threats of employment that can come into them very straight when they are into the market tomorrow?
Threats of?
Employment, maybe areas, of course, that's maybe a little far-fetched.
Yeah, so the project ideas would be definitely, you should not get carried away. This is something now from academics, okay? You should not get carried away by the hype that's created by AI and ML. Let me be very specific here. If your fundamentals are weak, you cannot contribute to AI and ML. When I say fundamentals, I mean fundamentals starting from mathematics, basic electronics, programming, to everything. So it's not that I have found students in my institute from first year they come and say, sir, I want to do something with you in AI and ML. I ask them, go back and do this for the first 3 years. You go back and come back to me with a CGPA of 8 or 9 out of 10 or 7 at least. Then report back to me. See, this is where we should be very, very careful. Do not get carried away by AI ML. Please make sure that your fundamentals, starting from DBMS to data structures to C++ to Python programming to whatever courses are taught by Anjan and all, you be very, very particular. So this is one take home. Fundamentals not clear, you cannot be an AI ML expert. Let me tell you why. AI ML is about putting these fundamentals to practice for a given problem. Okay, if your fundamentals are weak, how can you put this to a practice for solving a given problem? As for now, projects that you should look for in AI ML, my request to you would be, because I am coming from that area, my request to you would be to take projects which are relevant to the society. So you can always figure out projects, very small ones relevant to the society. Let me give you an example of an AI project. You could think of writing a web program, a small mobile app for Shillong, where people feeling very sad can send a message to someone who can respond immediately, maybe it a clinical psychologist or a psychiatrist locally. Okay, we have tried this in Guwahati with clinical psychologists, and we call this program Monon. It has been tremendously successful in my institute itself. Students, as persons, we feel barriers to go to a psychiatrist, go to a sociologist, but mental health is very, very important. So one of the project could be just make an app, talking to a local psychiatrist on the app. That could be a WhatsApp-based sort of app where volunteers would be available 24 hours. So moment I saw something coming, I can start responding and a connection could be built. And this would involve all your fundamentals. Writing programs, GUIs, cryptography, because these are to be really encrypted messages, encrypted messages. So these type of things, you pick up projects which are relevant to the society. Okay, that is one. The second one is you can pick up projects which are listed in IEEE societies as unsolved problems. Like there are so many unsolved problems that the world is trying to fight out. One is looking at X-ray images and telling me very clearly where is the crack in the bone. So for that, you have databases available. All you need is a good computer and your brainstorming with your guide and figure it out. So my request to you would be AI ML, you should not think very big that I will do certain things like this, create a humanoid or create a robot or something. You could be very small things relevant to the immediate society that you live in. That's it. As for threats to your jobs and security, nothing doing. Nothing is changing. Only people are now trying to paint everything in terms of AI. So, okay, let me tell you. All of these people talk of ChatGPT. Okay? Tell me what is the most problematic thing in ChatGPT and who solves it? Are you aware of it? Okay, let me tell you. The moment you ask one question to ChatGPT, that is called one prompt. Okay? Half a liter of water is required. Do you know why? Actually, half a liter of water is required. Because the ChatGPT servers are in Iowa, a city in US. And they are so massive that they get warmed up so quickly that the cooling of the ChatGPT servers is done by water. Water cooling. Okay, your computer is cooled by a fan. ChatGPT servers are water cooled. Water flows through these circuits. Now I'm a mechanical engineer. I have students which I teach fluid thermal, flow of water through pipes and how heat can be carried away. They are employed there, not computer science engineer. So we may be getting carried away saying, अरे ChatGPT आ गया, AI का ही नौकरी है. नहीं है. AI का 10 है, तो mechanical engineers का 20 है. 20 for mechanical engineers because cooling of these servers, making of these servers. So my request to all of you as students, whatever you are studying, clear your fundamentals first. Make a strong fundamental base. Rest of it will follow. Thank you. Sir would like to respond.
Not respond, as one. I will like to add a few more things. Whatever sir has said, I 100% endorse myself. Okay. Now you see, it is true that this AI development and for that matter technological developments will create new jobs, no doubt about it. Just as Professor Shamanda was saying, it will create new jobs, no doubt. But most probably the number of new jobs created may not match the number of jobs lost. This is one of the arguments they are giving. Fine, that kind of surplus will be there. And so number of other things are required. You see, we talked about social, the role of society, social awareness or social responsibility. Now time has come for people to say that I cannot have 5 children, 6 children or 7 children like that. Some people now promoting the more and more children. Maybe you have to put some control over that. Because otherwise, and especially you'll find these large families come in poor setups. That has to be, somehow they have to be educated. That if you cannot take care of your child properly, then it is an injustice done to that child, the fourth or fifth child, is an injustice done to that person. All right, okay, that's one thing. You may have to use certain amount of prudence and responsibility there. Second thing is, first of all, this kind of AI thing, as a professor has been saying so often, there's a lot of hype there. The reality is much, much lower, much, much humbler. And it will take years and years. Now remember, we have started space exploration. Now you see in the moon, there is a good chance that we will find water. And even if there is very little water only, there's a good chance that in course of time we will find ways of, putting up with that kind of climate and living. You see, we have been doing that thing. And listen, I come from Kerala originally. My ancestors used to go to another part of Kerala, and so many of them used to die at that time with cholera and what is called this malaria and so on. You see, and so they were going, and for them, it was because of poverty they were going there, but this was not a real solution because they were losing their family members and so on. Okay? And but now people learn to live there. Now there is absolutely no problem. My family has moved to that side, and we are living longer than the other places. Okay. Now you see, now space exploration is going to come in a big way, soon, not later, but soon. It's going to come up, and there will be more space created. And science is developing in different ways. AI is not the only place where the science is developing. All these developments have been taken into account, and certainly we will find a way. One more thing, historically, you see, humans have been facing challenges not just in the 21st century. We have been facing challenges from time immemorial. Think about the Middle Ages, cholera, then all this contagious disease. We have found how many people died in our what is that thing? Just now we heard that thing, but COVID. Of course, that's a very unfair statement to make, but nature has got its own way of controlling population, teaching people a lesson and so on. With the resilience of our nature, resilience I call it, resilience of nature. Even when there is a serious problem, somehow nature or humanity as a whole find a way out. This has been happening in history, all through history it has been happening. And how it will come, when it will come, we do not know. I, being a believer, say that it's God's providence. God somehow provides, God somehow helps us do that. But some people may not accept that. Doesn't matter. But nature is telling us over the millennia that there will be a solution for that. But we should be working hard all the time. We should not give up that nature will find a solution so I can sit down and enjoy life. No, I also should work hard. Especially our fundamentals have to be very clear. If you want to make progress in any field, it doesn't matter which field, any field, if you want to make progress, your fundamentals have to be clear. Because progress can be made only on the basis of reorganizing the fundamentals. It is not just, fundamentals are there, then you stand on top of that. No, you have to reorganize it, then only, progress can be made. So fundamentals have to be, and this is one of the most discouraging feature of our education today. The fundamentals are being ignored. You go to the colleges, I'm sorry I'm taking a little extra time, you go to the colleges all over India or all over the world, they say, basic BSc, basic BA, basic sciences, nobody wants to take. They want to go straight to computer thing, or they want to go straight to, some professional thing, so that you can make bucks. No. We need at least some good people, some intelligent people going into fundamentals, because they are the secret of success for us. The professionals, all right, we need them also, but we need both. So fundamentals, you please don't forget. Never. And any time spent on learning and relearning fundamentals is not wasted.
Okay, we are short of time, so we will, students, we will tell you, please study your basic subjects. C programming, DBMS, operating system, and data structure. Okay, so the fundamentals have to be sure. I just want to end up this session. Wonderful. Thank you, Father Job, Sir Professor Hazarika, Dr. Medari, for being here and enlightening and adding and making it. I want to just end with what Professor Hazarika told us. Not hype, let's move to hope. And Father Job told me something yesterday, summing up. I have known science well, and I am a better believer now than before. I'm sure that is a journey all of us want to make. And I'm sure we will find our Creator somewhere with our intelligence, and artificial intelligence will be our servant to guide us. Once again, thank you everyone, and God bless.
I would like to thank all our panelists for actually answering all the questions so patiently, but also to all the participants who actually boldly put out so many questions. So as we move on with this program, I would request our panelists to kindly take their seat with the audience. And now I would like to call upon Ms. Ayusha V. Hujan, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science, to kindly deliver the report.
We are almost coming to the end of the seminar. I'll just read out the report. I'll read it as it is, so please bear with me. A report on one-day national seminar on artificial intelligence, technological opportunities, and socio-ethical challenges. The national seminar on artificial intelligence, technological opportunities, and socio-ethical challenges was organized by the Department of Computer Science and the Department of Value Education under the aegis of IQAC, St. Anthony's College, Shillong, in collaboration with Indian Institute of Science and Religion, IISR, Delhi. It was held on 7 October 2023 in the Executive Conference Hall of the college. The one-day seminar started with the inaugural program. The function was graced by the keynote speaker, Reverend Father Job Gozamthadam, SJ, Founder Director of IISR Delhi, and Professor Nana Dipa, Institute of Philosophy and Religion, Pune. Reverend Father A.L. Jose, SDB, Rector, Reverend Father Joby Joseph, SDB, Vice Principal, Head, Department of Value Education, Dr. Anjan Das, Director of MCA, and Dr. Probidita Roy Chowdhury, Head, Department of Computer Science. Also in attendance were 19 registered participants from various institutions from East and West Khasi Hills and East Khasi Hills districts of the state. 4 participating faculty and students from other departments of the college, 17 faculty and staff of the organizing departments, 93 undergraduate and postgraduate students of the Department of Computer Science. In the spirit of the Invoking Divine Grace for the one-day seminar, the program began scripture reading from the 4 holy books of Bhagavad Gita, Quran, Bible, and Sri Guru Granth Sahib by the students of the Department of Computer Science, followed by Reverend Father A.L. Jose, SDB Rector, leading us in a prayer. The Rector then delivered the welcome address in which he welcomed the attendees, expressed his gratitude to the keynote speaker and resource persons for making time for the seminar, and also appreciated both the departments for the efforts in organizing such events, which is very relevant in this day and age. He also shared thought-provoking insights of the impact of artificial intelligence as its presence is felt in every aspect of our day-to-day lives. Then the lighting of the lamp ceremony took place, symbolizing the spreading of divine grace. A welcome song was presented by the 3rd semester MCA students. The keynote speaker was then facilitated by Reverend Father A.L. Jose, Rector, followed by the keynote address. Reverend Father Job delivered the keynote titled, AI Humanoids, Humans or Machines, a critique on science attempt to make superhumans and its impact on society and religion. He began by stating the importance of unity and all religions. His address was focused on the impact and the implications of artificial intelligence. To be godlike has been the dream of many humans from the dawn of civilization. No other breakthrough in science and technology is more reassuring in this context than AI. Especially, when accompanied by robotics and humanoid technology. The talk examines the identity of the AI-powered humanoids like Sophia, Amika, etc. He elaborated on what is considered human. A humanoid has to fulfill at least 4 conditions: high complexity, have emotions, and be able to respond to emotions meaningfully, consciousness, and rationality. He acknowledged recent developments afoot in AI research and computer technology. To a considerable extent, these conditions are being fulfilled, although much more needs to be done. He stated that, given the strategy used by AI and the mode of development of computer technology, AI humanoids can never match human capabilities, particularly with regard to consciousness and rationality. He discussed some of the important merits and demerits of the AI revolution. He concludes that AI humanoids are a blessing and need to support science and congratulate the scientists involved in this development. But these scientific products can only be collaborators or valuable assistants to humans, not competitors or rivals. The resource person of the next session was Professor Shamanta M. Hazarika, Professor of Mechanical Engineering and Mehta Family School of Data Science and AI, Indian Institute of Technology, Guwahati. He delivered a talk on the future of artificial intelligence, opportunities and challenges. He started the talk by enlightening participants of the history of AI. He covered the fundamentals earnestly that allow participants to learn and relearn the key terms associated with AI. The talk focused on engineering technologies surging and poised to change the world in more ways than one could possibly imagine. The future of AI promises significant positive changes, including improved access to education, healthcare, and an inclusive and equitable society. In the talk, he presented the exciting possibilities AI affords for addressing some of the most pressing demands of modern-day society and dwell on the challenges that are brought to the fore. He further highlighted work carried out within the Biomimetic Robotics and Artificial Intelligence Lab at IIT Guwahati in pursuit of such goals. He also suggested involving participants from humanities like philosophy to engage in the discussion. This was followed by an online session. The resource person was Father Augustine P., CST PhD, Founder Director, Institute of Advanced Interdisciplinary Studies in Science, IISR, who delivered the talk on the topic, Is Artificial Intelligence That Artificial? Philosophy and Spirituality for the AI Age. He starts off by stating that developments in artificial development is a very welcome development for philosophy and religion. He further states that developments in AI and robotics have opened up fresh areas of debate on some of the traditional concepts of theological anthropology. He further showed how certain philosophical assumptions driving the transhumanist projects through AI and humanoid robotics can be an opportunity for theological anthropology to widen its rationally deterministic understanding of imago Dei and personhood to cosmic and mystical horizon as well. Finally, he highlighted certain directions for philosophy and religion to reconceive certain of the fundamental themata in a manner compatible with the evolving dynamics of developments in science. Each of the talks delivered were an eye-opener and very apt for ushering the new era in technology. The panel discussion that followed on the theme AI, Opportunities and Challenges, the 4 panelists, which included were the resource persons, Reverend Father Job, Professor Shamanta Hazarika, Reverend Father Joby, and Dr. Midari Tham, Associate Professor, Department of Computer Science. The session started with a question and answer round where participants could clarify the doubts from the panelists of the day. It was an interactive and lively start to the session with well-thought questions posed and eloquently answered by the panelists during this hour. The panel discussion fostered dialogue that provoked new ideas, different perspectives, and a deeper insight into the theme. The national seminar ended with a valedictory function where the certificate distribution ceremony was held for the participants. In summary, the one-day national seminar witnessed a keynote address, 2 invited talks, and a panel discussion. The seminar had 135 people in attendance, The conference has been successful in bringing forth the developments in the field of AI, its impact, and has ignited discussion amongst the participants, which was evident with the engaging and interactive sessions throughout the day. So with this, I'm coming to the end of the report. Thank you so much for bearing with me. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma'am Ayusha, for that report. Now we'll move ahead with the distribution of certificates. Please note, students of St. Anthony's College, you will receive your e-certificate through your email. However, the QR code is here right now. You can scan it and give the feedback through this QR code. Moving to the certificate distribution, now I would like to request